We measure competitiveness in terms of our productivity standards in the United States, our increasing standard of living, and very importantly, long-term economic growth measures. But the real metric is around productivity. And the U.S. is doing well on that front, but we have a lot to do in terms of our workforce and skills agenda that drives productivity in the future.
So the problem really seems to be one of internal, domestic issues, as you pointed out, Deborah. But what about the externalities, infringements on intellectual property, etc.? Does that remain a challenge and a problem for U.S. competitiveness?
Oh, this is a huge problem. In fact, so much of the value of our economy is now based on intangible assets. And the U.S., as well as other countries, we have tremendous competitiveness in high technology goods and products, everything, from IT sectors, but of course, the life sciences, nanotechnology, and all the intellectual property embedded in that is really where the value is. So we, of course, are very, very concerned about the continued infringement and lack of enforcement on intellectual property for U.S. goods and services around the world, quite frankly.
Deborah, it's Bernie Lowe in Hong Kong joining this conversation. Thank you for being with us so early on in the morning. The stories about reshoring, all these anecdotes about reshoring jobs returning to America because, America is and has been for some time the most productive economy in the world. And the pullback in wage levels has made the American worker suddenly much more competitive. But we're still seeing these stories as anecdotes rather than as a wave. Do you see some trigger for a surge in this theme?
Absolutely. And it's really going on across a number of fronts. One is that manufacturing itself is fundamentally changing. We've moved beyond a 20th century manufacturing paradigm where we're using modeling and simulation tools. I mean, how things are made now and designed is fundamentally different. And, of course, this gives much higher value to higher skilled jobs. So that's one piece. The other is that wages are going up around the world. I mean, this is particularly true in China and other parts of Asia, where a strategy based on low-cost wage labor for your competitiveness in manufacturing is no longer viable. And then the third piece that's extremely important for the United States and really has geopolitical implications is that we are a country that's moved from energy weakness to energy strength. Our natural gas bonanza, as it were, is absolutely changing the whole manufacturing competitiveness of the United States.